Sal, welcome to the interview. Can you briefly introduce yourself?
Yes, so my name is Asal and I'm a U2 pharmacology student.
Can you talk a little bit about your high school background?
So basically I'm from Montreal originally, so I obviously did high school too, but till like 11th grade. And yeah, that was fine. I was in the French system, so yeah. So it was kind of like a big thing to switch to English. And then I went to Dawson. That's like a CJEP here, that's English. And now I'm here. And that was 2 years there, so yeah.
Can you describe how your program is built?
Basically, it's a 3-year program in the Faculty of Science, obviously. And it's pretty broad in like U1. And then it gets very specific. Like you basically just have 4 classes and yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about the main topics you explore, the most important classes in pharmacology, stuff like that?
Right. I mean, in U1, it was very broad again. It was like just biology, like your average biology that every health major had to take. So it was very broad. It was very molecular based rather than like physiology, but we also had physiology classes too, which were very broad rather than molecular. That was U1 mostly, and then U2, it's mostly like very drugs. It's like just drugs and diseases and toxicology. So it's just like what these chemicals around us can do to us, and also what are the effects of how drugs were developed to help us. And yeah.
In terms of homework, what kind of homework do you have typically, and how do you organize yourself to tackle it?
It depends on the class you're taking, but overall, pharmacology classes, there's no homework per se. It's mostly just midterm and then final exam. There is like some classes that have projects per se. Like right now I'm doing the toxicology class, which is for 303, has a presentation. Overall, you don't have homeworks as long as you're on top of your stuff and you don't, because if you study last minute, you're gonna die. But if you're on top of your stuff and you use the discussion boards and ask the profs questions and stuff, if you do have some, you're gonna be fine. But lecture recordings are the best way to study. But yeah.
Okay, so you don't have any assignment?
No, not in 4 classes.
Okay, that's interesting.
Right, I love it. I mean, maybe in U3 I will. I'm not sure, but right now I have no assignments like that. I love it. I love it.
Can you give one piece of advice to a prospective student in your major?
I would say like if you genuinely don't like the program that you want, if you're not enjoying it, switch to another program. Because in the first U1, like it's not even pharmacology. Like we have one pharmacology class, which is like profs that come in and they just present their research, and then it's just you have 2 exams, and the exams are like, they each ask one question on their whole presentation, and that's it. It's not very pharmacology. So I understand if people want to like get out of it, but I do admit it gets so much more interesting. Like right now we're learning so much about like drug actions, how they work, the mechanisms, and stuff like that. So if you're into that, stay in pharmacology and endure U1. But if you're not into like mechanisms and stuff like that, I would say change. But it's a good program, I would say.
One thing you like and one thing you dislike about your major?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of mentioned it, but like U1 was pretty useless in the sense like it wasn't even pharmacology. I feel like it was very like biology and physiology based. Like I had more biology classes than pharm classes, but I loved the biology classes, but they were very like broad. I'd say like they weren't like necessarily about like diseases or like drugs. They were mostly like, how is this protein degraded in our bodies, like at what time, whatever. But one thing I like about this program is like you get to like really see so many things that you see in your daily life, like so many things I would never talk about, like just your aspirin and stuff like that, like the stuff that they can do that goes bad and the stuff that they do to like how they work. Like I never thought I would learn how they work, but it's so interesting to learn how they work and what could go wrong and what you do to help it. And it's also sad because there's a lot of studies with rats and stuff like that and what they did to them, but for the betterment of science.
Yeah.
But overall, it's a really interesting program.
Do you find it hard to balance school and your social life?
It depends on what time of the semester it is. Like I would say like in the beginning till midterm season, I'm good. Like everything is good. I can hang out, I can study, whatever. And then midterm season hits and I feel like my world is crashing down. But after the midterms, it gets a little better for like a week, and then finals hit, and then I guess so. You can manage it. You just have to be on top of your stuff. But I feel like no matter how prepared you are, you will still feel overwhelmed because overwhelm you all at once. Like every single class, they for some reason know exactly the week that you have everything. They're like, oh, let me add one more assignment, one more exam. So, you know, it's possible though. I know so many people that are in like 10 billion clubs, 10 billion things, and they still get A's and stuff like that. It's definitely possible, but you have to know time management pretty well.
What made you choose this program, and what made you choose McGill?
I would say this program, like, again, I was very much debating between bioengineering, neuroscience, and pharmacology because I wanted something that was specific rather than just biology. I loved biology and I loved chemistry. So I was like, I wanted to find something in between that's also a little bit more specialized. Neuroscience, I love the brain. No one knows how it really works. So I was like, that sounds interesting. And then bioengineering, I was like, how do these machines work that we all use, that no one knows how to fix them if they break down and stuff like that in like medicine and stuff like that and research. And then pharmacology, I was like, all these drugs and these diseases, how do they work? How can we fix this problem? And stuff like that. So I was like, neuroscience is too broad, and then bioengineering had too much math. So I was like, pharmacology, and McGill was like English. So I didn't want to go back to French. The only option I had for pharmacology was UDM, so Université de Montréal. And I was like, I don't want to go back to French, so that's why I'm here.
What do you plan on doing after this degree? Do you want to continue in the same direction or not?
I don't know. But if I were to guess, I do know that a lot of my friends want to go into medicine and dentistry and stuff. I know that's not for me. I can't handle patients and stuff like that because like if I do something to hurt them, I'm never going to forgive myself and whatever. So that's not for me. But I do know I love research. I'm in a lot of like research classes right now and I love research, but also the amount of disappointment that you get from your experiments failing and you have to figure out how to solve them, it takes a lot of determination and patience that I don't have. So I was thinking like something research related because I still really love research. So I'm still considering it. But two other things that I'm thinking about, there is something that's completely off. It's not even related, which is nursing, which I thought like I'm not as involved with the patients. But my pharmacology background would help me a lot with how to administer the drugs and knowing their disease, and I love people. But my other option was bioengineering, but like biomanufacturing, which is kind of aligns with like my pharmacological things of like how to make vaccines and how to manufacture it to like a big scale. And yeah, that's okay. What I think. Watch me change everything, but we'll see.
Do you have any regrets in your choice of major?
I don't know. Yes and no. Like there are times that I was like, what am I doing here? Like I could do so much better. But like at the same time, I was like, I made my decision and like, yes, I regret it at times, but at other times I'm like, I love this. Like I have like ups and downs depending on like the time of the year. Like at the beginning, I'm like, oh, I like this. It's so cool. And then midterms and stuff, it's like, I hate this program. I should have been in something else. But yeah, it's just like, I feel like my opinion, like my regrets depend on my grades. Like it's kind of toxic, but like if I have good grades, I'm like, oh, I guess this program is nice. But then if something goes bad, I'm like, oh, maybe this is not for me. But yeah.
Okay, was it hard for you to adjust to university life into your classes?
Yeah, like I was kind of shocked. Like at least I had the CJEP experience, which is kind of in between high school and university. I cannot imagine going from high school to university. I would die. But like it was kind of like hard with the amount of work. Like I felt like what I learned in a month or like 2 weeks, let's just say in CJEP, I learned here in like 2 lectures, and I thought that was insane. Like I was not used to that much information. But once you get used to it and stuff like that, it gets better. But I would say it took me like the first semester to really get used to stuff because I was like, damn, the workload is a lot here, and they're not messing around with the exams. Like they're really hard questions, but it's doable. But yeah.
How is the overall vibe in your classes, and do you like it?
Again, it depends on the class, but I would say for pharmacology classes, it's like a big amount of people. I would say like, well, not that much, like not LECOG 132, but like I would say like 200 people-ish in the same classroom, and like it's pretty chill. Like the prof usually talks and people ask questions, but it's pretty like you just listen. Like at least for these classes, I'm sure like once I get to U3, there's like less, it gets really specific. It's like just neuropharmacology, endocrinology, pharmacology. Like it's very specific. So I feel like those classrooms would be much smaller and more intimate. But right now, like U1 was huge, and then U2 was getting smaller, and then U3 will get even smaller. So yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Asal, for being here. And yeah, that's the end of the interview.
No, thank you for having me.